Hey guys, well I'm just out in the garage working on a little project that I've been meaning to get to. My last year's buck, it was a pretty decent one, so what I wanted to do was a European mount. I've read up on it and checked out YouTube videos and forums about how to do it. It seemed pretty easy, and I thought I'd give it a try. So the first thing I did was I put my skull out in the yard and I covered it up with leaves this spring, and I just let the bugs do their thing. I kept an eye on it to make sure that no critters tried to haul it off, and I just covered it up with some leaves and I just left it, and it took most of the summer to get all the hair and the meat and muscle off and the brain, and there was lots of bugs and beetles, and it was kind of nasty looking, but Mother Nature did its thing, and the skull and everything really got clean. It didn't have too much meat and tissue left on it, so that was pretty easy to do, and it turned out all right. So now I'm just got it in a pot of boiling water, or simmering water I guess. I've been moving it around and topping it up with water, so it's not really boiling right now, but it's just straight up dish soap, quite a bit of dish soap and water, and it's been sitting in there for 6 or 7 hours now. And what I do is every couple hours I take it out and I blow it off with the air compressor, and scrub off any bits of meat that I can see. And I think I've pretty much just about got it all taken care of. I don't see any more meat left on this guy, so we're gonna get to the peroxide stage shortly. Now I don't have the 40% peroxide like a lot of places recommend, but I did see that there's some people that used to bleach cow skulls and bull skulls, and what they do is they use the 3% medical stuff that you would put on your cut and wounds, and they would soak some rags and paper towels in it, wrap it around the skull, and then put it in a bag and check it every day or two. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get that guy out in probably the next hour or so, blow it out real good, and then start soaking some rags and peroxide. And but first, before we soak it in peroxide, what we're going to do is tape up the antlers and wrap some saran wrap around them so that we don't bleach it. We don't want to bleach the antlers or they'll go white, so we have to try and do the best job we can to protect them. So we're just going to wrap it at the horn or the base of the antlers. So there's the skull out of the water. I've got the antlers wrapped around the bases with a plastic bag and a bit of tape. Try and keep them away from the peroxide. We got a bit of a broken nose, but what we'll do maybe after is glue it. But teeth are still all in place, which is pretty cool. It looks like I would say all of the meat's off, or at least what I'm going to be able to get off. So next what we're going to do is get some peroxide on some rags, and then we'll get this guy in a bag. So here we got a coffee can. We're just going to dump this peroxide in. Get some rags soaking. Got a garbage bag, so what we're going to do is wrap the rags around it, and then gently stick it in the bag, because we want to try and get as much of the peroxide on. Try not to spill too much of the peroxide. Try not to get peroxide on the antlers. Should have maybe ripped these up before I started. Would have made things easier. Just gonna get her going. Need a few more. Get the underneath going. Should have done this in a tub so we could save some of the save some of the peroxide. So we're just gonna put that like that. Dump that on. Carefully pick this up. Put it out of the way. So we've got our antler skull in the bag, all wrapped up with some peroxide rags. I'll probably leave it overnight, have a quick look in the morning, see how it is. It doesn't have to get jet white or snow white because it's snowing outside, but I'd like it a little cleaner than it looks. And then we're going to make some sort of plaque or mount anyways to hang it up. I'm allowed one antler in the house, and so far that's my biggest buck. So that guy's gonna go up, and we'll get back when he's white enough, and I'll let you know how long it's been soaking in those rags. So we'll be back. So we're back on the deer skull. It sat wrapped in the hydrogen peroxide solution and the white rags for about 5 days, I guess. Here's a bottle of the stuff I was using. I don't remember if I already showed this or not. It's just hydrogen peroxide 3%. This is the stuff you can buy at any drugstore, Walmart, Canadian Tire. It's just a generic. I think that was probably from Walmart. So I meant to bring a white piece of paper, but that's a white jug, so maybe you can see the difference. The skull is definitely not white. It's got a yellow beige type tinge to it, but to be honest, that's what I want. I want something to look rustic. I'm going to use some of that 1x pine that I've cut last year, I guess, as my backer board or my the shield. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape up the antlers, probably up to, you know, here or so. And then I've got some, hopefully that didn't break nothing, some fast dry poly that I'm going to spray on. It's clear semi-gloss. I didn't want anything with too much shine. So we're going to wrap it, probably do 3 or 4 coats, and we'll see how it turns out. So we'll be back. Well, we decided not to wrap the antlers. I figured I'd just give them a coat just to help preserve them maybe. And that's the first coat, so we got to let it dry a couple hours and then we'll spray another coat. I'll probably do 3 coats, so hopefully it'll be done later on today, and tomorrow we can show you what it looks like.